Hey everybody, this is Preezy. Check out my website at www.listenuplistening5687.com. That's www.listenuplistening5687.com. You ready to chit-chat and all of that? You ready to vent, let it out? Well, come on now. Come on, collab with Preezy. Come on and be on Listen Up, Listen In as a guest. Contact me at 718-354-8405. 718-354-8405. You can also contact me by email, listenuplistening5687@gmail.com. One more time, listenuplistening5687@gmail.com. Let's get it. Hey everybody, this is Preezy from Listen Up, Listen In podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope that you're having a good day. It's Friday. And if you're not having a good day, try to brush it off. This too shall pass. Don't let them see you sweat. They smile in your face. They all the time. They want to take your place. Ow! Don't give it to them. Try to make the best of it. You know, if your day is a little rocky, you're stepping on some stones and it's hot like fire, take it easy. Woosah. Just relax. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. All praises to Jehovah God and Jesus Christ every day. Amen. And what are y'all doing for the weekend? So much going on in the world today. So please be safe. If it's not the storms, it's the crimes. If it's not the storms, somebody dying. If it's not the storms, it's variants. B6, B4, C2, A9. Oh my goodness. It's nuts out here. Be careful. Mental health is real. Take it serious. Please get help. Talk to someone. Get a therapist, please. But I have a special show today. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. You know, the COVID came and did some serious damage to us, family members, lives. 6 million plus throughout the world have lost their lives through COVID. 1.something million. I don't know the exact number, so that's why I'm saying it like that. Have lost their lives in the United States. Although they say the pandemic is over, COVID is still out there. And guess what? There's new variants out there. Be careful. If you still want to wear your mask, wear it. If you choose not to, just be careful. Because people are still dying from this COVID. Believe it or not. Anyway, I have a special episode called We Miss Our Moms. And today, with my co-host guest, Mr. Freeze, we will be talking about our mothers. It is a very emotional episode. I tried to be cool, but I couldn't. So please excuse me if you hear me crying. But I get very emotional when I talk about my mother. And I'm going to try to do my best. I just want to give a shout out to my brothers and sisters who were there for me, who were there for my mom, who helped me out so much through this ordeal. Shout out to my aunt and uncle in North Carolina, the Carnegie. Shout out to my aunt Mary out here in Brooklyn. Shout out to all my cousins. And shout out to my true friends that were there for me through this difficult time. I pray for all those that have lost a parent or any family member due to COVID. God bless all of y'all, and may Jehovah continue to watch over you and your family. We miss our moms on this episode. Listen up, listen in. Let's get it. Yeah, I meant to say, my brothers and sisters, thank you for being there for our mom. Not just my mom. I gotta stop drinking. I'm just playing. Our mom. Let's get it. When you saw me, you saw her. Peanut butter and jelly.
Tanya Dupree says her 87-year-old mother, Sally, wasn't even living in a nursing home, but contracted and ultimately died from COVID after being sent for temporary rehabilitation to a nursing care center in Brooklyn.
You took so much from us to not be able to see your loved one for weeks, and then when you go see them, they're dying. And she passed, a part of me died. And I'm doing this for her.
Ms. Dupree says she wants justice for her mother. I asked her, what does justice mean to her? There was a long silence. She said, I just don't want this to happen to anyone else. We're live in Foley Square tonight. Jay Dow.
Tanya, you ready?
Listen up, listen in. 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 Thanks for tuning in. Let's have a conversation. Talking worldwide, it don't matter your location. What you going through and the topic may have relation. Let's get some motivation. Swap out education. Every Friday we heal, laugh, improve, and grow. Put some nutrients in your mind, give you food for the soul. I know you pumped and preparing for your weekend and low. Might as well join the discussion and tune into the show. Listen up, listen in. Listen up, listen in. Listen up, listen in. Listen up, listen in. Listen up, listen in.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to Listen Up, Listen In podcast. I'm your host, Preezy. Now before I start today's episode, I would love for you guys and gals to follow me on social media. Go to Instagram, Listen Up, Listen In 5687, and on Facebook, Listen Up, Listen In. You can also email me on listenuplissenin5687@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, by following me on social media, you'll be able to see all the platforms my podcast is on. Wherever you consume my podcast, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when a new episode is posted. Rate, review, and share this podcast. Now let's get back to Listen Up, Listen In. Hey everybody, welcome to Listen Up, Listen In podcast. I am your host, Preezy, and today I have a special episode that I wanted to talk about. It's a tough episode, but sometimes when you go through things in life, you really need to vent, and that's what I want to do. And I have a special co-host guest with me today. He also went through something just like me, and we want to talk about it. And the topic today is that we lost our mom due to COVID. And so we know it's a touchy topic, but I decided to have my friend come on with me because we are both in the same group. People who have lost their parents to COVID. And it's a very good group, and that's how I met him. And he goes by the name of Mr. Freeze. What's going on, Mr. Freeze?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. You know, you've been on a few of my episodes before, and you and I share something so deep,
right,
and heartbreaking. And I just said that, you know, I really wanted you to come on the show and tell your story, and I will tell my story, and then we can maybe give advice to those that have gone through what we've gone through or something similar, and we can give them advice on, how to get help. So, before I get started, I always like to ask my guests, how was your day?
My day was good. I had to do some errands today, and then I had to clean up around the house and things like that. And then I had to cook dinner, just like a normal day, because I'm off from work for next today and tomorrow.
Awesome. Oh, the holiday, right? I believe it's the Jewish holiday.
The Jewish holiday, right. So
awesome.
How was your day?
Oh, as usual, busy. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like I'm retired, but it seems like I'm doing more being retired than working. So today, I took one of my vehicles and had to get an oil change. So I do that. Shout out to one of my brothers, Bobby, aka first name is Milton. He's named after my dad. Okay. He stays on top of me when it comes to my cars. Okay. And so that helps me out a lot, because as ladies, we always like, I'm not doing that. I don't know nothing about that. So my brother is really good in that field. So today I went and got an oil change for my truck and a new air filter. And then I had to bring my dog, one of my oldest dogs. I have 2 Yorkies and Yorkie Terriers. And excuse me, one of them is losing their sight. And so I had to take them to the eye doctor to do a procedure. Eventually he will go blind, but right now they're just doing other options to just help him clear the eye out, and until eventually there's nothing else they can do. But with me, I'm an animal lover. I have studied veterinary assistant and studies, and I pretty much know a lot when it comes to animals, and I am truly an animal lover. And I'm telling you, I'll feed every animal in the street. And humans too. I love human beings, and I take care of the homeless too. But animals, oh my goodness. My mother used to be so mad at me because I wanted to just meet and greet every animal I saw. And I got popped for that one time.
Really?
Yeah, because we were walking past a gate up on my block, and there was a dog at the fence, and I didn't put my hand in the fence. I just put it near, and I said, well, Mommy, I learned that if a dog smells you and he doesn't smell fear, he's not going to bother you. My mother said, oh, really, Pop? Don't you ever put your hand there on gate with no dog again before he take your fingers off. Are you crazy? So my mother was pissed at me. I never did it again, but my love for animals grew and grew and grew. And actually, I wanted to be a veterinary assistant, but I had got injured. Right. And so with my injuries, I was unable to, after I retired, to complete that task. So it is what it is. But that was my day. And so I came home and just to relax, and I said, you know what, let's do this episode. Let's
Well, I just want to say sorry for the problems your dog is having. I know how much it affects you, because I have nieces that have little I don't know if they're Yorkie, but they're small dogs, and I see how they are attached to them. Because when you have dogs, I guess it's like, I hope I'm saying this right. It's like having like a kid.
It is.
It's like part of the family.
Yes.
Right. So if something affects them, you feel like, wow, you really have to go way beyond to take care of them, because they do it. They take care of you as you're their owner. So it's like one hand washes the other in a way.
Yes, they're very protective, but they're very needy too, because they always want to be under you 24/7, and sometimes it can be a little aggravating, but that's the breed. You
have to love them, right?
My God, they want to be on my lap. And if I go to the bathroom, they're in the bathroom. I take a shower, they want to be in the shower. You go here, you go left, you go right, you go up, you go down. They want to be there. So it's a lot.
To leave your side.
No, they're very needy, and I mean, it's cute and all, but sometimes, you know, when you just, come on now, go sit over there, be a dog, go in the corner somewhere, be like Scooby-Doo, you know, but Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo was under Shaggy all the time, so I don't think I could use Scooby-Doo.
That was my favorite. I used to love Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that was one of the cartoons.
Scooby-Doo and what? The Scrappy-Doo?
Yes, I don't know, I think that was his little cousin, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yep, so... On today's episode is talking about, you know, we miss our mom, and COVID has destroyed so many families and took so many lives. I mean, in the United States alone, is over 1 million, and then throughout the entire world, it's over 6 million. And that's a lot of people. I know. That's a lot of people. And you're saying, what was this thing? Why did, you know, it's just, it's so many questions you have. People lost their businesses. We couldn't go outside. You couldn't meet your family. You couldn't do family gathering. You couldn't do anything. The world stopped.
It actually did. Like, you really couldn't, like, your normal life basically got, like, upended. You know, like, it wasn't a normal world anymore normally. You couldn't walk outside. You couldn't go nowhere. You couldn't go to restaurants. You couldn't, like, it just changed your world, basically. Like, the normal routine that everybody does definitely got uprooted because of COVID.
Yes. And on April 15th of 2020 at 6:50 p.m., my world changed forever.
Right.
Forever. I don't know if you want to start.
I mean, ladies first.
Oh,
ladies
all
first.
right. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
So let me talk about my mom first of all. My mom was, and I'm not just saying this because it's my mother, but my mother was very beautiful. She was very classy. She was into clothes. Her fashion was just out of this world. Right. She wore things that you couldn't believe she knew about. My mother had clothes that were so desiring to the eyes. Like, my mother would step out, because my mother was a Jehovah's Witness. Right. And when she would go to the Kingdom Halls, I remember going to the Kingdom Halls with her. And at the end of our service, people, the sisters would come up to my mom and would say, Sister Dupree, you are outstanding. Your hat, your shoes, your bag, your whole outfit. And that made my mother feel so good inside, to the point where, so the service is Sunday, right? Well, we have 3 services. So they have the Theocratic Ministry School, like on a Tuesday night, a book study. And no, I'm saying I'm getting it confused. They would have the book study, and then they would have which is the Theocratic Ministry School. It used to be 3, but now it's 2. And then the Kingdom Hall, which is the Sunday service. And my mother would put her clothes out on Monday, what she's gonna wear for Sunday. I mean, I used to say, Mommy, you are so conceited. She learned this new word. She learned the hating word. She's like, you just hating. You hate. I'm like, wait, you know, my mother was so hip. And she would compete. My mother would compete. Like, if I go out and get a pair of Uggs and stuff, she's like, well, what you got in that bag there? What you got there? I said, come on, Mommy. She's like, go get me a pair, because I like those. And I have to go and get my mother a pair. And it was cool because all my brothers and sisters spoiled my mom. Like, I lost my dad when I was 12. He died from heart disease. Thank you. And I was 12 years old. So my mom became my dad.
Right.
You know,
both your parents.
Yes, my dad died when he was 56.
Wow, that's young.
Yes, he died in 1983. I'll never forget it. And I was lost. Now, growing up with a father And I had brothers, but they were doing their own thing. I had one brother, he went out to the military. I had another brother, he was into roller skating and fashion and women and all that. And then I had another brother, he was 2 years older than me, named Richard. He ran the streets. Like, he was doing his thing. And so my older sister, she was married. You know what I mean? So I was literally like by myself and with mommy. And I got so close to my mother, way before my father passed away. I used to sleep with my mom at the foot of the bed until my dad came home from work. And then I would leave and go in my room. So every single night, me and my mother would stay up and watch television. I would fall asleep. And then my dad, he worked late hours, but he came in like maybe 2 a.m. or something like that. Right. And then he'd be like, okay, Tanya, you gotta go to bed. And I would get up and go in my bed. So me and my mother's bond, it was like the umbilical cord was never cut. And as I got older, my mother, she was just a wonderful mom. She was so giving. She helped each and one of my brothers and sisters get their houses and stuff. And she was so intelligent. She got properties and stuff. And my mother used to say, Tanya, it's time for you to get a house now. You ready? I'm like, no, mommy, no. And she was like, come on. So we would go looking for housing. We would go looking for apartments and stuff like that. But my mother never knew that at my father's funeral, over his casket, I told him that I would never leave her, no matter what. And so even though me and my mother we were out there looking for homes, I didn't feel right because of the promise that I made to my father. And so when we finally got a house that I thought, okay, I could do this, at the table, when they all negotiated, I said, I can't do this. My mother looked up. She said, okay, 1 second. Let me see what's going on. So my mother said, Tanya, what are you doing? I said, I can't do it. She said, why? We ready to do the close. Ma, I can't do it. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go. Wow. So I never told her reason. And so I wound up staying with my mother. And so, my mother had asthma, and in 2019, we rushed her to the hospital, and we found out that she had heart disease. Now, heart disease plays a big role in my family's life. My brother is a heart transplant patient for 6 years, so kudos to my brother. 6 years, he's got a transplant. And my sister-in-law, she just now is in rehab. She does have heart disease. Her daughter has heart disease. My dad died from heart disease. So it runs very strong in our family. So in 2019, no, I'm sorry, I'm giving the wrong year. In 2017, my mother was diagnosed with heart disease. I had retired from the Department of Corrections September 18th, 2017. And that next month, I rushed my mother to the hospital to find out that she had heart disease. So, I've been taking care of my mother as well as my brothers and sisters. But because I live here, I lived with her, of course, I was her caretaker. So, although she had a home attendant, she had everything she needed, I still played a big role with taking care of her. My brothers, we all worked together. When I needed to go away, they were there for me. They helped me out a lot. And every twice a year, my mother would have to go to the hospital and stay for a couple of days or even weeks because of her asthma and because of the heart. In 2019, around October, something was in our world. Right. And no one knew what it was. All they knew is people were going to the hospital. They had diarrhea. They had headaches. They weren't feeling well. They had temperatures. No one knew. It was a bug. It was the flu. That's what we were told. Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody had the COVID. Right, it just didn't affect you as bad as other people. But we all had it. And I really believe that. So, in November, my mother had to go to the hospital. of 2019, we went to downstate and she stayed there. She was there for a couple of weeks. Every single day I was there. I was there. And I just want to say something to people out there. When you have family members in the hospital, go see them. Because it makes a big difference when you're going up there to see them. That staff knows that this person has family and they're coming to see them. So you better do right by them. Right. So I went up there every single day. It might have been one day I missed because I was so exhausted. And I stayed on the phone all day with my mother. And anything she needed, you didn't get it yet? They didn't give you ice water? They didn't give you a blanket? Did they wash you? Hold up. Call up. Hey, yo, listen. Sally Dupree, room such and such is requesting this. They did it. Right. They did it. Wasn't nasty or disrespectful, but you let the staff know that, hey, I'm on top of things with my mom.
Right.
So, 2019, my mother got sick. She was in downstate. So, downstate had a rehabilitation center, but they said it was too advanced for her. And they let us know, we had to prepare because my mother's heart wasn't getting better. Okay. I know that her heart gonna take her out. I know it is. And so in your mind, you like, okay, they say in about a year or so. Okay. All right. So now in your head, I got a year to be with my mom.
Right.
All right. So, okay. So it's still hard, but at least you know now what you're expecting something to come up. Excuse me. Okay. And so, so she couldn't they stated that, downstate stated that the rehabilitation center was too advanced. And so it would be best to send my mother to a rehab. Now that I'm thinking about all of this, that was BS. They knew my mother was dying. And they didn't want to be accountable. Yes. They didn't want to be accountable for it. No. So, I'm trying to make a long story short. They transferred my mom. My mom, she had kidney failure, and they transferred her to the rehabilitation center, which was beautiful. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It was a beautiful rehabilitation center. It was clean. And so I went with her that night. We got there really late. And I stayed with her as long as I could, to make sure that she was comfortable. She was like, Tanya, this is a nice place. I said, yeah, Mom, it's clean. She says, okay, so I said, Mom, you only going to be here temporary. You're just trying to get stronger. That's it. You're not staying here. Because I used to make fun and make jokes with my mother and say, you know what, Mommy? You keep acting up, I'm going to take you to Shady Pine. You know what Shady Pine is? Shady Pine was the Golden Girls, where the mother was. So she used to laugh about that. So anyway, a week went by. My mother was eating. She was doing real good. Right. And, Mommy, you got to get stronger. I said, they coming to do rehab? Yes, they come all the time, Tanya. She was getting visitors. We made sure we washed our hands because the COVID was out. We wore gloves. We wore masks. And, next week, Mommy doing good. And I think it was like maybe the second week or something like that. Or third week. I'm not too sure. And I said, I've been calling you, Mommy. What's going on? Tanya, they're not letting me do the physical therapy. Because I would go up there when she was in the day room. She didn't like being in the day room with the feeding area. So I'd be like, nah, take my mother out. Me and my nephew, Christopher, we would take her out and we would put her in the rec room in the area where we were by ourselves and we would take care of her. Now, my mother had blew up with water. So that's the heart. Mom, you take your meds? I don't know. She wasn't really taking her meds. So, Cuomo, I had asked Mommy, I said, Mom, why you not going to physical therapy? She says, Tanya, they saying something that they have to sanitize and they shut it down. I said, oh my God.
That's not good.
So I went and spoke to my sister and I said, Cookie, I'm not feeling right. So I spoke to one of the administrators. I said, why isn't my mother going to rehab? She said, a few of them got a little sick, and so we shut it down. I said, Cookie. My sister name, we call her Cookie. I said, Cookie, the COVID's in here. She said, no. I said, oh, no. So in my mind, I'm saying, please, no.
Right.
No. So I said, Mommy, I gave her all this cleaning stuff. And I said, Mommy, please, I'm begging you. I want you to pay attention to me. Whoever touches you, you make sure they wear gloves. Whoever comes near you, make sure they wear masks. I want you to clean your hands all the time. She said, Tanya, I don't want this thing. I said, you're not going to get it. I said, Mommy, we're trying to get you out, but right now, we're trying to get that water weight off of you. She says, there's no way you could bring me home. I said, it's impossible, Mommy. We can't. We don't have the equipment to get you out, to bring you home, because you're only going to come back to the hospitals. All the hospitals are COVID-19. I don't want you to get sick, so you're more safe in here. So we called the doctors, and I'm saying to the doctors, what should we do? You know, we're getting scared now. They said, listen, your mother's more safe in the rehabilitation centers than the hospital. All hospitals are COVID-19s. There's bodies everywhere. People, 300 people are dying a day. So I said, okay. Phew. So now you're feeling relief. Like, okay, Mommy's good. So now I'm talking to my mother every day, going up there still. Then all of a sudden, Coleman stops it. He stops it. We can't go up there. I said, no, please. No, what is he doing? Please don't do this to us. Don't just put up a petition. Put up something that even though we can't be near her or touch her, we can still see her. I went to that rehabilitation. I said, you better open this door. I'm banging on the door. Right. And then I'm saying to myself, I got to get in here. And I'm thinking of all the craziest ways. If somebody opened the door, I could run in, get upstairs to my mother. But then I thought about, I'm going to get arrested.
Right.
To mess up everything that I worked so hard for. Damn, what am I going to do? So I'm calling my mother every day. Mom, you good? They feeding you? Tanya, I'm good. But you know what? I don't have a taste for nothing. I said, what do you mean you don't have a taste for nothing? So now I'm getting scared. What do you mean what's the matter? She said, I don't taste the food. I said, oh God. So I tell the nurse, she had 2 excellent nurses. And I said, listen, can y'all take my mother's temperature? Mr. Pre, her temperature's good. Well, she's saying that she don't have no taste buds. They said, well, you know, she did develop a little something on her tongue so that, I forgot what it's called. They say a lot of seniors get it or something like that. I can't think of the name, and I don't want to mess up saying the name wrong, but it was hard for her to talk. And it's like, it was like a sore. So I'm like, oh God, what is going on? So time went by and we were able to see our mother on Zoom. Like, she wasn't looking right. And so my sister and my brother got involved. My sister Judy and my brother Milton. He called Presbyterian. And because they knew him, he was a transplant patient, they said, we would like to have a meeting to discuss what's going on with Mr. Pre. So the hospital claimed they weren't able to do the meeting via computer, which I thought was BS. Not the hospital, the rehabilitation center. So Presbyterian said, we want her removed immediately and taken to Presbyterian. Shout out to New York Presbyterian in Manhattan, because you helped my family a lot. Excuse me.
No, it's all right.
And so,
take your time.
So they said they was gonna transport my mother. And so, I was talking to my brother and I said on the phone, Bobby, I gotta get up there. I gotta get to that rehabilitation center. He says, why? I said, I got a feeling they're gonna take mommy today, because it seemed like they're trying to rush her out. Something's not right. So I get there and I go inside. I had to use the bathroom, so they had to take my temperature. And as soon as I come out the bathroom, who's coming down? My mother in a gurney. I haven't seen her in 3 weeks. And I was shaking so bad. And my mother looked at me and I said, Mommy, we getting you out of here. We getting you out of here. So she shook her head, yes. So I went to the EMT guys and I said, listen, I'm begging you guys. I have to ride with my mother. I haven't seen her in 3 weeks. Please. He says, I don't know if you could do that. I whipped that shield out and I said, listen to me, please. I'm begging you. let me ride with my mother. I haven't seen her in 3 weeks. So they said, but we don't think that you could come in the emergency room. I said, I don't care. I need to be with her. So they said, come on. I got in the ambulance with my mom, and I held her hand through the whole ride. And I said, Mommy, you fight. You fight. You understand? So I said, you're going to make it, right? She shook her head no. I said, please, Mommy, don't do that. Please, I need you because I'm low. I don't know what to do. So she was just looking straight, and then she turned her head and she stared at me, and I swear I'll never forget this stare. It was a stare I can't even explain it. Not one time did she blink. She just stared.
Oh, wow.
And I held her hand, and I said, you fight. And the oxygen was going down, so the guy had to turn it up. He said, I want you to watch her numbers. But in the beginning, it was high, and then it started going down. That ambulance guy was moving. And in my mind, I knew she was leaving me.
Wow.
And they got her out, and I said, Mommy, I love you. Before she got out, I kissed her forehead, and I said, I love you. And I'm going to see you. All right? So you fight, Mommy. Come on. You know how we do.
Right.
And she went to the emergency room, and I spoke to the doctors. They called me on the phone. I called them, and I said, what's the status of Miss Dupree? And they was like, your mother's very sick. And I said, please, like the President of the United States, you have to please save my mother, please. And he says, we're checking everything out. We're reading her chart. We got her on every medication, so she's not in pain or nothing. And I said, okay. So then I told my sister, Cookie, you got to get up here. So they were already on the highway. I think husband I heard he might have been doing 90 miles per hour. Thank you, my brother-in-law Jimmy, for getting my sister up here safe and sound. And my sister called the hospital, and they said, why did you bring your mom here? It's all COVID-19. If she don't have the COVID, she's going to get it. And so another doctor grabbed the phone and said, listen, y'all did the right thing. Your mother is sick. So you did the right thing by bringing her. So that was a relief. The next day, we praying. We all here. My sister's here. And, no, my sister didn't get here yet. She was on her way. She didn't leave yet. This day, she left, and I got a phone call from the doctor, and they said, listen, by us putting that thing in your mother's neck, which is a syringe to try to force the heart to work, you're really putting her through trauma, and it's best to come say goodbye. I said, wait a minute. No, Mr. No. I said, Mr. No. Are you? No. He said, Tanya, your mother has COVID. Dude, when I tell you, it felt like somebody took a dagger and ripped my guts out.
Right.
I said, my mother got what? He said, she has the COVID. I called my brother Bobby. We went up there. We took Uber. And the doctor was telling us we have to come say goodbye. And so we couldn't even touch her. Because they were nice enough to even let us say goodbye. And I'm sorry I'm talking so long, but
it's all right.
And I put all the grandkids and the great-grands on my Zoom, and they all said goodbye on the phone. And my mother called out my name, and she just called my name out, and I said, Mommy, I'm going to see you again. I promise you will see me again. Because as Jehovah's Witnesses, we believe in the resurrection. And then we left out, and then my brother Chris and sister Cookie and her husband went to say their goodbyes. And then the next day, my mother was still alive. They brought her to the hospice area, and she was in the room with all the COVID patients. And she had a defibrillator. So they had called me and said, we need the code to the defibrillator. We got to cut it off. And so I gave them the code and I asked them, could I come and see her one more time? They said, come on. I mean, shout out to Presbyterian, man, because everybody don't have a story like this.
I know.
And, but that was God. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
That was God. And my mother was a true Jehovah's Witness. And we went up there and we had to suit up. And I've never seen nothing like this before because me and my sister, we were scared because one mistake, we could have caught the COVID. But at that point, you don't care. So the doctors had to suit us up really, really good. Like nothing could be open. I couldn't believe this. I couldn't believe this. And my mother, we went into the room and I'm telling you, I've been down to 9/11 and I saw body parts and stuff like that. Right. So that was terrible. But what I saw when I went in that room, people was waiting to die. They looked like something from a zombie movie. From The Walking Dead. Tubes and machines all in them. They were just waiting to die, but it was horrible. Right. And my mother was the only one that didn't have the tubes in her. She looked like a little baby. They gave her a pillow. And I said goodbye. And I said, you go. Because you was the best parent I ever had. You took over Daddy. You did his part. You know, and you go. Right. Mommy, don't fight no more. And my sister talked to her and we cried so bad. And then we came out the room and the doctors, they were so nice, the nursing staff, and they talked to us and I asked so many questions and when we left, my niece Vanessa, she was downstairs waiting, and me and my sister got an Uber. And then 15 minutes later, while we were in Uber, they called and said, your mother's gone. Yo, bro.
Wow.
I lost it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I never felt so much pain in my life. I lost my best friend. And you know what, Mike? If she would have died from heart disease, it would still hurt. But the COVID took her quicker. Yeah. It took her quicker, and it's hard.
Oh yeah, I know. I know. My thing is very similar to yours in a way because my mom was pretty much like your mom in a way. They probably would have been like best friends. Because my mom was like, she was very classy too, like dressing wise. Like I told my mom, why are you wearing that? Don't worry. I gotta look nice. I said, hey, I'm going to work. I'm like, okay. You know, she was very classy. You know, my mom was a teacher, and my mom was very smart. My mom was very, very smart. You know, she, in her late 40s, she went back to school to get her master's in education, and that's why she became a teacher. And her boss, her principal, wanted her to go more and be do my job, be a principal. She goes, no. I don't want that type of responsibility. I have enough. I got kids at home. I have enough responsibilities. So I was like, and then after a while, after years went on, whatever. Then after she retired, she really didn't get to. She really didn't do much. Really, she just wanted to just stay home. She really didn't want to. She would travel, but it has to be the whole family has to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? She was always big on doing a lot of family activities, like family vacations. Because my brother has 2 little girls, my sister has 2 daughters. And my sister's youngest daughter has a son, so she wants to always get like her kids, her grandkids, and all get together. So so my mom was always big on that, But the one thing that my mom, mom, God forgive me, but I mean, we never had like Sunday dinners in my house,
Right.
because people would be afraid when my mom cooked, because that's the only that I think my mom really didn't do well was probably cook. But other than that, she was very my mom was very very disciplined to a point, but she let us live our lives too, but she wanted us to be careful what we chose to do. So we had like an equal balance. And I mean, I lost my dad when I was younger, and my dad also passed away from heart disease.
Wow.
He had heart disease, and also he was diabetic.
Oh, wow.
So then when my mom was home one day, my mom wasn't feeling good, so I called my sister. My sister's a registered nurse for like almost 30 years. So I called my sister. My sister came over. But my sister goes, "Ma, you don't look good." And she says, "Oh, thank you." So then she took her temperature, and she didn't feel well. So they took her to the hospital, and then they ran all kinds of tests, and my mom was also diabetic. She was diabetic. She had high blood pressure and all this other stuff too, And so when they took her, they found out that she caught COVID. The crazy part is that my mom never left my house. So the doctor asked, "How did she catch it?" I was like, "Your guess is good as mine. I don't know." So when they had her now, they called me to come in and get tested because I was my mom's primary caretaker. I live with my mom, just as you did.
Right.
So I used to do like her breakfast in the morning, make sure she took her meds and stuff like that. And then after a while, she just stopped. I mean, she didn't stop taking her meds, but she was very like, why do I have to take them for? Whatever. So I like force her kind of take her medication. So when she had COVID, they told me to come in to get tested. So I had to get tested. And when I was in the hospital, she was catching. We were on separate ends of the emergency room. I was on one end, and she was on the other end. And she was catching all types of seizures and stuff like that in the emergency room.
Wow.
So the doctors had to go over there and I guess see what the problem was and whatever. So a doctor who's taking care of me was also taking care of her. So he would come back and forth to, I guess, relay to me what's going on. And my sister was over there too, because my sister's a nurse. So my sister was like, "Oh, mommy's fine. Don't worry about it. She just catches little seizures here and there." But they really didn't want to tell us. Well, they didn't want to tell me at that point what was really going on. So, So when they tested me, I came out positive, but I didn't have any symptoms. So a doctor told me, he goes, "Okay, you can go home." So let me go home. And like you in a way too, that we didn't really get a chance to see her in the hospital. My sister was lucky enough because she got taken to my sister's hospital. So my sister used to see her all day long when she was working.
Wow.
So, so my sister, she'll do we set up a group text, and she would send out text messages like this was her blood pressure, this was her oxygen levels, and they had to put a tube in there to help her breathe. They put her on a respirator, and normally when you go on a respirator with COVID,
Right.
when you go on those things, you don't come off.
Right.
So then I said I'm not a doctor, but I know some medical stuff I do. So I was like, that doesn't sound good.
Right.
So then me and my oldest brother went to go see her because my sister worked there. So I was covered like you from head to toe. Like I swore I looked like an astronaut.
Yes.
Right, I was covered from head to toe, and the doctor's like, I mean, you could touch her, but since you have gloves on, you can't. But still be careful because she has COVID. So I was, and the only that stayed there maybe for like, I would say maybe like 10 minutes, maybe 15, because my sister worked there. Other than that, they would not let her stay that long.
Right.
So, but then other than that, we really couldn't go. I think I went twice to see her. Then after the second time, they said, you can't. That's it. No one's allowed in here. I don't care who works here, whatever. So we did like a family Zoom every night, and my sister had Zoom on her phone. So we all did the family Zoom, and we will see my mom from my sister's phone on Zoom. So we will all get a chance to talk to her and tell her, keep fighting, don't give up, you still have a lot to live for, you still have your grandkids, and us as kids, I mean, we're old, but I mean, you still need your parents to help you along. I mean, you never want to see your parents go.
Right.
So we kept doing the Zoom for like maybe like 3 months straight, 4 months straight. We'll do like an hour of Zoom with her on the phone, and we'll do like a prayer every night. Because my mom was very religious too. She's like, she was Catholic, so my mom was very religious. So we'll do that. Or when my aunt will go to like church, she'll light a candle and stuff like that. So I remember the last time we had this conversation, and my sister was like, I don't think she's gonna make it because she was in the hospital for a couple of months. This is when COVID first hit, so they really didn't have no antivirus for it. They had trials that they had, but they didn't know if they would work because they're just trials.
Right.
So my sister was like, I don't care, do whatever you can. So the doctors did, but I mean, I'm not gonna say that they didn't know what they were doing, but I would say that they probably didn't know how to deal with it because they never seen nothing like COVID, and then have nothing to combat it at that point, But it was horrible. I mean, I can't describe how it feels. I mean, how it feels, that how painful it is to like have that happen. And then when I believe we did a Zoom maybe the day before she passed or whatever, I believe. So we all had a chance to like talk to her and tell her, before or whatever. And then I think we did Zoom maybe like an hour before she passed away. We did like a Zoom too. My sister texted, did a group text, said, I think we should do one last Zoom because I don't think she's going to make it through the night.
Oh, man.
So we did a Zoom, and us, I mean her kids, her 4 kids, we took a turn to like, I guess, kind of like say goodbye in a way.
Right.
And it's kind of sad that I guess we couldn't do it like in person, kind of,
Right.
So we all took our turn. And I think we all told her, look, I mean, you did a lot for us. You don't have to fight anymore. You're suffering, and stuff like that. And we didn't want to see her go through all that suffering no more. Her body just couldn't take the pain and all that, stuff going on. I mean, so we're like, it's okay, we're gonna be okay, and so after we did the Zoom, whatever, my my sister called me at like 9, maybe like 9:30. I would say, I might be wrong, but I think about like 9:30. She said, mommy passed away and whatever. And she said, you want to stay in my house? Like, no. I want to stay in my house. My brother called me, you want to stay in my house? Even my goddaughter, my brother's oldest daughter, called me like, Theo, you want to stay in the house? You just stay over. We could watch TV or whatever. Like, no, I'm good, mama.
Right.
So yeah, it's hard because my mom wasn't that old.
How old was she? My mother was 87. How old was your mom?
79.
Yeah.
And like everybody, when everybody sees my mom, they're like, how old are you? My mom's like, I'm 40. And they're like, no, you're not. You have 4 kids. How can you be 40?
My mom didn't look her age. She didn't look
my
like
mom
87.
didn't either.
Nah, she didn't look 87. It's crazy. Her genes was just like powerful.
Yeah.
She did not look her age. She cooked. Oh my God, my mother. Yo, Mike, if I knew you before, you'd be like, you wouldn't even be coming to see me. You'd be like, yo, I'm coming to see Mr. Dupree. Forget you, Tanya. I'm not coming to see you. My mother could cook, and I had asked my mother many years ago, Mommy, let's invest in a business because your cooking skills are incredible. And she was like, no, the reason why I wouldn't do it is because I'd be in the kitchen all the time. So what makes sense for me to open up a business when I'm going to be there all the time anyway? So, and she was funny about giving her recipes out. So, her skills and she was beautiful. She dressed. She could cook. She was funny. Mike, you would laugh all day. People say I took after her. I'm a clown. I like to joke around. I learned from the best.
Well,
My mother was hilarious. She was funny.
The crazy part is when they ask me, they say to me, are you more like your mom or your dad? Right? And I say, I don't know, because my dad was pretty serious.
Right.
My mom was pretty serious, and I'm like, I'm a jokester. I'm silly, I'm goofy, I'm funny. And like, where you got it from? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I get it from. Because my brother is very serious. Like, my other siblings are not. I mean, I could be serious too, but
right.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just funny.
Oh, you like to joke around. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, listen, sometimes we gotta laugh so we don't
You have to. I mean, yeah, I think that's the one thing I think that made it. Well, and the crazy part about it with my mom, when we had to do my mom's funeral, it was on the 4th of July weekend.
Wow.
Right? And then it was like the funeral home. We went there, and he was like, we could do it, but it's gotta be this weekend because we have so many other, funerals, due to COVID. So when we went to the cemetery, they only had a certain amount of people that could come to the service at the cemetery.
Right.
You couldn't even get out of your car. They tell you, don't even get out of your cars.
Let me tell you something, Mike. I know that we were blessed.
Mm-hmm.
We received so many blessings from God.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you why. When I hear other people's stories that they couldn't see their mother, they couldn't.
At least we did.
Some family don't even know where their loved ones was buried.
Right.
They don't know. Let me tell you why I know these blessings were from Jehovah God. Number one, we were able to say goodbye.
Right.
Some people were not able to say goodbye. We physically say goodbye twice. That was the blessing. I was able to ride in the ambulance with my mother and hold her. That was a blessing. We were able to have a funeral for my mother with an open casket. And I want to give a shout out to Bread's Funeral Home in Smithtown. They allowed us to bring 15 family members, and we were able to have a funeral on Zoom. The Zoom,
Oh, wow.
the total of people that was on Zoom for my mother, the Zoom could not even handle it. And it stopped because she had over 300 to 400 people watching her funeral.
Wow.
We were blessed, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to say goodbye to her. And even though my mother's casket was open, she had the COVID, we were able to see her and say goodbye. And then drive out to the funeral parlor and touch her casket before she drove off. I know this was God. I know it was. My mother was a true Jehovah Witness, and she stayed with Jehovah God to the end. And to me, this is his blessings for us. So I pray for all the people out there that lost their family members, that weren't able to see them, to say goodbye.
Right.
That has got to be the most horrible, horrible thing to go through. And for those that were able to say goodbye, I'm happy that you were able to say goodbye. And it hurts so bad. Every day I fight, Mike, I fight every day. And that's why I think I do this podcast, because it's therapeutic to me.
Yeah, it's an outlet.
Yes. And you and I talk and we communicate, and the group that we in, it helps. I'm in another, I'm in this group that we're in. I'm in another group that is awesome, of loved ones who, it's not particularly COVID, even though I do have, another person with me. I think it's two.
Oh, I know who's with you. Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I know her. Yeah.
And, we're in that group. And then I have a therapist 101. So I was going through it, and I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I had crazy thoughts, and I'm glad those thoughts are not there. And I just encourage anybody, if you're going through it, don't do it alone. Go get help, because we are human beings. Death is an enemy, and it will take us down. I was so badly stressed. I wasn't eating. I was drinking. I was going through it. I lost my world. My mother was my world. But because I believe in the resurrection, and I believe in the Bible, and I believe in my religion, I know that I will see her again. And so my next goal on my bucket list is to get baptized. So that's what I'm working on. I'm studying now to get baptized. But I want to do it because I love God. You know what I mean? And so, and I know that God don't lie, and that I'm going to see my mother and my father. So it's hard, but I just encourage people to please just get help. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Like you and I, we get into therapy. You and I, we talk. And I said that, I've been so busy lately, but I know me and you, we gotta hook up, we gotta connect, and we gotta do a lunch date or something. We gotta go somewhere. Yes. And, just chit chat and all of that. And, cause we lost people that were dear to us.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it went by so fast, like the 2 years, because my mom was 2020.
What day did your mom die?
June 30th?
2020.
2020, yeah.
Yeah, so my mother died April 15, 2020. So wow, your mom died 2 months right after my mom. Yup, just about. Wow.
Yeah, I mean.
And you see how time is just flying?
It flies right by, and like when we if our family gets together, we were like, wow, like we do like for like her last was it for her birthday? I think it was for her birthday. I buy her favorite flower for her birthday for Mother's Day.
Nice.
I buy her cow lilies.
Do you guys do a memorial? Because every year we do a memorial for my mom on her birthday, around her birthday. We don't celebrate birthdays, but we do the memorial for my mother and father, because my parents are buried in Calverton. My father was in the military, so my mother had her plot. He had a plot for her right next to him, so they're right next to each other. And so every year we just go out there and we say our prayers, and we tell them, we just read some scriptures or whatever. And then there's a park next door, big Calverton Veteran Cemetery, and we go have a big picnic. Maybe next year you can come out there and join us. I'll let you know. And you come on out there. We have so much food, and the kids is out there, and it's a huge park. It's beautiful. And so we just try to make the best of it, and we all wear shirts with my parents' picture on there, and it's just we try to make a sad occasion
a happy occasion. Yeah, like I think the first year, my mom, my cousin got us all like magnets to put on the refrigerator with like her picture on it, like beloved mother or beloved grandmother, always watching over us.
Nice.
So we all have one, but what we do normally for her birthdays or for like her anniversary or for Mother's Day, we just go to the cemetery, because my mom and dad are both buried in St. Raymond's.
Oh, nice. Okay, they're together.
They're together, and like what's great, like my mom, my dad, my grandmother, and my cousin. They're all like back to back.
Wow.
They're all like in the same area. And then my sister-in-law is also there too.
Wow.
So like when it's on my mom's birthday, we go and we bring, like, I think it was it last year or the year before? We bought balloons. I bought like a big lavender balloon. That was her favorite color. One of them was lavender.
Yeah, my mother's was blue and bone, like a bone.
She liked white too. My mom loved white. Like her bedroom had to be all white. I was like, why white? She goes, I'm like Jennifer Lopez. I like white. I was like, okay. So the whole room had to be white.
Awesome.
So we got like big balloons, and we like let them go for like her birthday. We do it for her birthday, Mother's Day, her anniversary. We have like my aunt does like a mass every day for like her death anniversary and for her birthday.
Wow. So
we go to church the day of, or if they can't get the mass on the day of, be like a couple of days before it or a week before. We all go to mass, and we light I light a candle for her and stuff like that. Yeah.
Good thing. One thing I can say about my family, we have always had family functions. We went everywhere, and Mommy was always there. She was never left behind, and that's what I love about my family. Like all trips, Mommy was there. We made sure our mom was with us, and we spoiled her. She got everything. Right. She didn't have to pay for nothing. All we wanted her to do was just cook, and we took care of everything else because her hands were golden. And she's missed. She's so missed. Like there's times, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right.
One thing my mother told me, I'll never forget this conversation. This is when she was in the rehabilitation center, but she was good. She wasn't. Right. She was like, Tanya, when I get out, so we still got out because we had plans. We still going to Delaware, right? I said, yeah, Mama, we going to Delaware. You know what's up with that. We gonna get a place out there, and we just gonna go back and forth. That's what we gonna do. She said, okay. She said, cause I want to at least enjoy a year, at least. I said, Ma, don't even talk like that. She said, but Tanya, I just want to let you know. I know I'm not well, and I want you to take care of the family. And I'm like, Ma, I don't want to hear this. She said, no, you listen to me. She says, you take care of the family now. You keep the family together, and stay with Jehovah, and you take care of this house. And you just do what you're supposed to do. And I know you got this. And I'm like, Mommy, please. I don't know. She says, I taught you well. You got this. So my mother knew. You know what I'm saying? She knew that she probably wouldn't be here long, but she didn't probably think that she was going to catch the COVID.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But, I just want to say that this COVID has really destroyed families. It has really, it took a toll on us. And, I mean, listen, like we know people that lost mother and father.
Absolutely.
And we know people that has lost 6 family members, mother and father, brother, uncle, sister, daughter. COVID did a number on us. People that had businesses for 30, 40 years had to shut it down.
Shut doors, yeah. A lot of companies had to close. A lot of stores had downsized. A lot of people lost their jobs due to COVID.
A monster.
Yeah, yeah.
This thing was a monster. I don't even want to hear variant. It was a monster. But I want to give a shout out to Voice for Seniors because they're a group that was involved with the rehabilitation nursing homes, the deaths. The 2 sisters that started it, they lost their mom in a nursing home, and she caught the COVID. So these young ladies were able to allow my mother's voice to be heard. She was on the news, and her picture was on the news. So I want to definitely thank Voice for Seniors, and they're still fighting today for seniors.
That's a good
it was terrible that these seniors lost their lives. I mean, you had senior citizens in a nursing home living there, and that COVID took their lives. People that came there, like my mom, she was only supposed to be there temporarily just to get stronger, just to, walk, and she's gone. So I just want to pray for everybody that has been through it, and I pray for you, Mike.
Oh, I pray for you too, because like I said, we've been going through this for a while, and I always say it, we don't go through it alone. We do it together. We do it as one big, our group is like one. We have like a family dynamic with it, and we'll go through it together, no matter if we're in the group or not. We'll always be connected because we have this common bond that we've gone through something that not too many people in the world could, understand.
Right. I don't think anybody could understand unless you lost a mother or father.
Right.
You will never know the pain. You will never understand the pain. It's not even in a dictionary. You will never understand the pain of losing a parent. Now, everybody's story ain't the same now because some people are not close to their parents. For whatever's going on in their family, I can't, say that everybody has a bond with their mother and father. I know that my bond with my parents was tight. You know that your bond with your parents were tight. And anybody who bond with their parent was tight. They know the feeling if you lost your parent. You know the devastation that you feel.
Yeah, it definitely leaves a void in your life, in your heart that will never be filled.
I will never get over my mother's death. I will cope with it, and I will move on from day to day. Thank God for this therapy. Right. I will never get over it. Never.
It's to this day. Sometimes I wake up and be like, I
can't believe it, right? Me too, Mike. Yeah. I'm like, I can't believe this woman's gone.
Yeah, and when I go to work, I'm sometimes I know like the first day when I go back to work, I'm like, I get like deja vu all over again, because my mom worked in the same school that I worked.
Wow.
So it's like when I got the job, my cousin, my aunt was like, it's fate. Your mom wants you to work there. And, because the crazy part, when my mom was working there, my mom always tried to push me to work there.
Right.
To work in the school. But I was like, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I love to cook. I love to always be in the kitchen. I took culinary classes. I wanted to become a chef. I wanted to do that.
Wow,
And
nice.
then and then when COVID hit, everything got upended.
Everything changed, yeah.
Everything changed, and then now when I work at school, there are days where I get like deja vu. I'm like, wow. And some of my coworkers be like, are you alright? Like, yeah, I'm just having one of those days where it's like deja vu.
I have my moments. I think I have moments every day. I cry every day, and
like I
it's
feel
hard,
like,
man. It's hard, but I just a lot of people say think about the good times, and I try to think about that, and I just keep.
That definitely helps. It does help to remember all the good things, the good times you got, and that that I did with her, and like there are times where like she'll watch TV, and I'll like she'll beg me to sit down and watch TV with her. Like I don't want to sit here by myself, or I'm gonna go sleep, but I want you to watch TV, so I know you're here, so I can hear you watch TV, so I fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, and like and then she'll be like, I feel like, she's not here and she can't see what I'm doing now. So I feel like I got cheated a little bit.
Yeah.
And
our parents, we're not stupid. We know our parents can't live forever.
Absolutely.
But it's just, I think it's how they went. But you know what I'm happy about?
That's what it is.
You know what I'm happy about, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
That I'm glad I retired.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm glad I retired, and then my mom got sick, and at least I was able to take care of her for those 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was there, Mike.
Right.
And that makes me feel so good inside. And I know my mother knew that our love was unconditional. Mm-hmm. Like we were considered peanut butter and jelly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's unheard of to have peanut butter without jelly. And it's unheard of to have jelly without peanut butter. So it's like she was my friend.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of errands for my mom, which she needs medicine or from the pharmacy.
Every day.
Like, well, I'll do all her errands. So I was like her errand boy.
Mike, I couldn't even go out if I went out to dinner with my friends, I always brought my mom food back. And she would sit on the couch and be like, what you got? Like, where you went? I'd be like, here. You already knew I took care of you. So we were just, man.
That's funny you say that, because before I got my job, where I'm at now, before COVID, I worked for a catering company. So my mom used to always text me, what time are you coming home? Like, I don't know why. Okay, I don't want you to come home too late. So I used to so when you work for a catering company, let's say you do 200 covers, right? Then they bring back the trays from the event. And then most of the time they have food that comes back. A lot of food. So my boss would be like, look, take as much as you want, because it's going to be thrown out anyway. We're going to take whatever you want. And I'm talking about, there'll be like salad will come back, chicken, steak, fish, rice, bread. You name it, they had it coming back. So every night I'll come home with like a tray. My mom was like, what took you so long to come home? I said, I'm carrying this heavy tray. What's in the tray? So open it up and see. She goes, oh wow. You brought me steak?
Wow.
You brought me fish, chicken? Oh, it's right. And she was like, you could come late anytime now. As long as you bring back food, I'll be okay. So I'll bring her back. I used to bring her back trays of like salmon, steak, prime rib.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, she was well fed.
Mike, if you could see your mom, if you could talk to your mom right now, what would you say to her?
Wow, that's a loaded question. I'll probably say I miss you, I love you, and I'm working where you always wanted me to work. So I'm fulfilling your dream, I guess, in a way. Like, she wanted me to do that because she thought it would be beneficial for me, because I don't live that far from my job. You know, she didn't want me to travel, take the train, nowhere to go to work. She was always scared of me going on trains and
Right.
buses at night. I used to come home late, so I would ask her, like, "Ma, you know, what do you think about my job now?" She'll probably throw a party. And be like, "Oh God, thank God, you know, you're at my old job. I like it. I'm happy for you, whatever." And you know, but I know that I have two angels up there looking over me. I feel like my mom and dad always watching over me, I guess, you know. And it's like I said, I wish that my mom would have still been in to see what I'm doing now. I would like to. I would love to see or like hear her reaction to what I'm doing.
I think I would just
What would you say to your mom? You saw your mom right now.
continue to rest.
Right.
And I'll see you soon when it's time.
Right.
I'll be there.
Do you ever have
There
dreams?
will be no more sickness and no more crying, no more pain. And the former things are passed away. And we won't have to worry about being in pain and you getting stuck with needles and having, like, she had one nurse at the rehab, she cut off my mother's buzzer. And we wrote her up. And we should have went further, you know, to get her more discipline. But it's okay. It's okay, because God don't like ugly.
Oh, yeah,
But
absolutely not.
it's all right. But I would say to my mother that just continue to rest. Continue to sleep.
Do you still have you ever had dreams of your mom?
Yep.
You still do?
Once in a while. Yeah. I have dreams about her, and I don't believe in spirits or ghosts or stuff like that.
Right.
We don't believe in that, but I know that Dad is conscious of nothing. So I went to the cemetery this weekend, and I just said a prayer, and all I say is a prayer, you know, and I know what I need to do, and I'm gonna do it. I made a promise to my mother, and I'm gonna do it. And I made a promise to God too. So, it just hurts because we had so many plans.
Oh yeah, like my mom.
We had so many plans when I retired. Yeah, we had so many plans, but like she told me when we had that major talk in the car, continue your plans, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, my mom wanted to travel more too, but she didn't. I think the last time she went on the trip was for my niece's wedding. That was like 4 years ago, I think. 3-4 years ago. She went to DR. We couldn't go because I couldn't go, and my other brother couldn't go. But, you know, she like I said earlier, she's always wanted to do like family things to get us all together.
Yes, very important.
And stuff like that. Yeah, because family was really big for her. So like we still try to do like family trips and whatever, and do stuff together as a family, because my mom's side of the family is very small.
Right.
But my dad's side is really big. You know, I don't think I ever said this before, but the group that we're in, my sister originally found that for her, but she didn't want to do it.
Right.
And she told me, about it. And now I'm like, I'm glad she did, because I got to meet a lot of people that are like close friends of mine. Like, we became like family now.
Right. And we needed it. We needed it.
And we needed it. Yeah, we definitely needed it, because
we were going through it.
Yeah, because like I say, you know, we always we need a release.
Yeah.
Of, you know, to like just have, you know, feel normal for a little while, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So in closing,
Yeah.
what advice could you give to those that have lost a parent or a loved one with COVID? What advice would you give them?
Wow. I would just say, just treasure the moments you have with them. If you could spend time with them and before they leave,
No, I mean,
like,
if they lost, what advice can you give
or
to them?
if they lost them already.
Yeah, if they already lost them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I would just say, you gotta take it one day at a time, because it's just not gonna. I mean, the pain's always gonna be there. It's never gonna go away, But just keep the memories that you have with them, and that will keep them alive, I guess,
Yeah.
And just don't forget them, because even though they're not here physically, they're still around. And believe it or not, they're always gonna be with you,
Right.
And so you're never alone. Definitely, I think we should definitely get into like a group like we do.
Right. Therapy, right?
Therapy to like
Yes.
it definitely helps.
It does.
It definitely helps, because it definitely it makes you not feel alone.
Right.
And that's the worst thing you want to do when you go through something like this, is to be alone.
Absolutely.
Because you have crazy things go in your head, and you feel so lonely, and you don't know what to do with yourself.
And you actually realize who are your friends and who are not your friends.
Absolutely.
When you go through heartaches and pain,
Right.
You see who is really true.
That,
We all got our
right.
trials and tribulations, but death is a little different, and you'll see who's there for you.
Who's right? I mean, that's when you really know who's really your friend, who really isn't. Absolutely. I agree 100%. I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What advice would you give?
Definitely get therapy. Do not handle things on your own. Don't think you're tough. I thought I was tough. I thought I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And nearly probably felt like I was going to have a nervous breakdown. So
Right.
it's still tough for me. It's still hard. Every day is a fight. But I'm happy that I have loved ones and true friends that are by my side and have never left my side. Not the friends that call you when they need something. Not the friends that don't call you at all or text to check on you.
Mm-hmm.
You'll know who's true and who's not.
Absolutely.
And you gotta stay strong. And if you believe in God, you pray to Him, because I'm telling you, without God, I would not be here. Without God, I don't know. I would be just a mess. If I wouldn't be here, I would be a mess. And there's days that's really, really tough for me. But I go to Him and I pray to Him every day to help me. And I've seen so many blessings. So, but you have to pray. You have to pray. And it's gonna get better. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will never get over my mother's death, but I will learn to cope, and I'm learning to cope.
I agree.
And I know that she's not suffering anymore.
Yeah, that's the main part, that she ain't in no more pain.
No more pain, no more sticking, no
more
tests, nothing cutting her.
Yeah.
None of that. So
none of that stuff anymore. She could be at peace right now, and I mean, she's probably up there having a party right now. I'm pretty sure she is. Watching her TV and having probably having coffee right now. Probably having coffee.
Yeah.
But I always say I have to agree. You have to just pray to God and believe, because God's gonna give you inner strength.
Amen.
He's gonna give you as much as He knows you can handle.
Amen. Amen.
So yeah,
So I want to say a prayer before we end. Do you mind if I do that?
please go ahead.
Okay. Our Father in the heavens, Jehovah God, please be with me and Mike as we deal with the loss of our mom, somebody who was so close to us, that we loved so much unconditionally. And God, watch over us, please, because it's difficult and it's hard. And we have faith, Jehovah, for you. And please be with our family members and be with all those that have suffered with COVID, whether they were sick, whether they lost their loved ones. People are still dying from COVID. It is not over. The numbers might be low, but it is still out there. So please protect our family, their family, and God, be with the ones that are being persecuted every day for serving you. We need you, and I hope that me and Mike could become great friends, and I know we already are. And just please watch over us, Lord, and watch over our family members. Through your loving Son, Christ Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Yes. Mike, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Joining this episode. We miss out.
I hope we could do it again.
But you know what? We're gonna do a fun show this time.
Yeah, we got. I was gonna say to you.
Yeah.
I want to say, like, if you allow me to, I'd like to do more.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's an outlet for me too. So I want to do more if I can. If you let me.
Yes, you better. And listen, I will let you know. I'll text you. I know I've been a little rotten with texting and stuff like that. It's just been so busy, and then dealing with my dog. This dog is just. I love all my animals, but this one right here is just, he's different, and I'm just trying to do all I can to help him see a little bit longer. So, I just been really busy with that and taking care of the house, and I'm going to Delaware and just trying to do all the things that I said, I told my mother that I would do. So, I will connect with you more. We need each other. And I'll definitely have you more on my episode. Absolutely. I didn't even know why you didn't tell me. I have you on. I think you was on what? 1 or 2?
I did like what, maybe.
I think it was 2.
3.
Oh, it was 3.
Like 3.
All right, cool. Yeah. Listen, I have so many great topics coming up, so. I'm gonna shoot you a text or call you like, hi Mike, Mr. AKA Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze, let's do it. I'll tell you, I think it's an outlet, and what's funny, I think I told you this before. I've always wanted to do something like this.
Right.
So now I have the opportunity to do it. I definitely want to do more of it for sure.
And I want to do an episode on sports because you guys always think that women don't know nothing about sports. So here's the opportunity. I got some questions. I want to know certain plays I don't understand when it comes to football. And it's about football season now. It's coming.
Yes, it is.
So we're definitely going to do an episode on sports. And I'll definitely have you on board with my podcast. But I thank you so much for support. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Listen Up, Listening podcast on this special episode, We Miss Our Mom. This was a really deep topic, but it was something that I really needed to do. And I'm glad that my friend Mr. Mike, aka Mr. Freeze, was able to join me with this episode because I know it was tough for both of us. Even after we did the episode and we talked about it, it was very emotional for both of us. And I just want to clear up some things because, sometimes when I be talking, I be making mistakes. Y'all know I be messing up. Y'all should know me by now. I be making mistakes. But when I be talking about my mom, I get so emotional. I be saying things backwards. And I know y'all probably caught that. I done said things backwards. I was like, what did I just say? Okay. Well, I hope that y'all understood what I meant. But I wanted to say, when it came to my family, I had mentioned that when I needed to go away, my brothers were there to help me out when watching my mom. But I want to give a real, true, special shout out to my sister Judy. My sister, you know, she has so many qualities like my mother. It's amazing. And sometimes she be thinking she my mother. She be acting like she my mother sometimes. Shh. But, you know, we be getting into it. But you know what? One thing about me and my sister, we be fussing with each other, but we don't hold grudges. And I love her so much because when I see my sister, I see a part of my mom. And I guess it's that motherly love that she has within her. It was taught by our mom. And we're very caring and giving people. And if anybody knows, I always try to help people out the best way I can. I'm tough, but I do try to help out. And what I want to say about my sister is that I thank God every day that my sister stayed with me when my mom's died. My sister stayed with me for about 3 weeks. She was with me for 3 weeks. Probably was a little bit more than that. But it was approximately 3 weeks. And I'm glad that she was there. And like I said, that was a blessing from God too, because my mind was all over the place. And I also want to say that she was there when I needed to take a break or I needed to go away and just do things. She came up from Virginia and took time off of work. And even if she had to work, she took her time and she came up there and she said, Tanya, go away, do what you got to do, take time out for yourself. So I know at one point of the episode I said my brothers were there, but I meant to say also my sister. My sister was there for me. You understand? She was there. She was there. And I'm glad she was there because I don't know. I'm just going to leave it like that. So, shout out to my sister. She makes me laugh. She does the craziest things. But she's the best sister in the world to me. And I thank my siblings for helping me out with mom. And I know people could say, oh, but that's their mom. They should. Let me tell you something right now. Okay? Family ain't always family. Okay? You got sometimes friends that do more than family. Okay? For the family that hold grudges, grow up. For the family that stay away, get it together. Okay? Now, I don't know everybody's story, but do your part. Do your part. And I'm glad that we were here for our mom, because she was a wonderful person. So we gave her everything. She was treated like a queen. So if you have a strong bond with your family, keep it. Okay? And if you don't, I don't know the story. I don't know your past. But you do your part. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about what they doing. You do what you're supposed to do. Okay? Being a good person. We don't want people to treat us bad, so don't treat people bad. Okay? It's not right. Be what you need to be. Do what you need to do. God is watching. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. And we're going to always make mistakes. But don't make that a choice. Love your family. Hold your family members just a little bit closer. Live, laugh, love. Love you first, because you can't love nobody or anything unless you love yourself first. Don't forget about God. Love you, mommy and daddy, forever. And thank you mommy and daddy, for making us the best that we can be and giving us inspiration to be better than yesterday. Peace.
That concludes this episode of Listen Up, Listen In with your host, Preezy. Hey, yo, Preezy, tell them how to keep in touch, baby.
Go to Instagram, Listen Up, Listen In 5687, and on Facebook, Listen Up, Listen In. You can also email me at listenuplistenin5687@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, by following me on social media, you'll be able to see all the platforms my podcast is on. Wherever you consume my podcast, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when a new episode is posted. Rate, review, and share this podcast.
Listen up, listen in. Listen up, listen in. Yeah.